Greg Chappell Sourav Ganguly controversy is back. Chappell has again bashed Sourav Ganguly. Chappell has levied serious allegations against Ganguly, the batter.
उफ भाई ये लोग चैन से सोने भी नहीं देंगे. उफ, come on, this can't be happening all over again. Please, someone please say that this is not real. Please.
This is as real as it gets.
Come on, Trisha, you can't be serious.
I'm dead serious.
You mean the Chappell Ganguly saga is back again?
Absolutely, it is. And this
You know
time,
what,
Chappell
Trisha?
has what?
In life, people have bad relationships, and this is one bad relationship which comes back to haunt couples day in and day out. I feel this Chappell Ganguly saga. Now, what has Mr. Chappell said?
First of all, did you just call Ganguly and Chappell a couple? That in itself, I think, has broken
A
Ganguly and
relationship
Chappell's
which
heart.
didn't work out.
Okay, but I will read out Chappell's quote. Dravid was really invested in India becoming the best team in the world. Sadly, not everyone in the team had the same feeling. They would rather concentrate on being in the team. There was some resistance from some of the senior players because some of them were coming to the end of their careers. When Saurav got dropped from the team, we had a lot of attention from the players because they realized if he can go, anyone can go. We had a great 12 months, but then the resistance got too much. Ganguly came back into the team. The message from the players was loud and clear. We don't want change. Even though the board offered me a new contract, I decided that I did not need that kind of stress. So here I will do two things. First, even before I go to you for a question, I will bring in our special guest. Our special guest, I will first introduce him as, he was the assistant fitness coach in that famous Greg Chappell camp. You remember Greg Chappell had a very difficult camp where
Yeah.
most of the players had almost fainted. So guess who
You
was the
mean the
assistant
military
fitness
camp?
coach? We have him here.
Okay.
Yes, the military camp. And we have the assistant fitness coach Chinmay Roy here. And before I ask him any questions about Greg Chappell and the camp, I must tell the viewers that Chinmoyda is a fascinating fitness coach. You know, Argo, he told me one day I went to the gym. I'm a sports psychologist in the same gym where he is the fitness coach, and he does a fabulous job. He told me, you take 10 minutes between your sessions, the sports psychology sessions, 3 10 minutes makes 30 minutes of a day's exercise and you are done. That is how he did. And that is why when I said it was the gym trainer's fault that he couldn't get the best out of me, because this guy could. That's my point.
So
Now, Chinmoyda,
Chinmoyda
welcome to the
is
show.
basically, yes, welcome Chinmoyda. So Chinmoyda
Yes,
is
yes,
basically uh, a Gary Custin to you.
yes.
Absolutely. Chinmoyda is your Gary Carson. Chinmoyda, straight
Perfect.
away I will dive into the question. Because you were a part
Yes,
of the camp. Just tell us a
right.
little bit about the team atmosphere in the camp.
Okay, Trisha, at the outset, really, it's my pleasure, and I appreciate both you and Orgo to invite me in the show. Yes, I think a little bit of time we'll spend, we'll enjoy, rather than the first thing is enjoyment, as you said very rightly. So, see, the first thing I must say is that somehow I formed a very good rapport with Greg Chappell. And afterwards, I became the man who really helped Moras Das Gardens. He was training
Yeah.
perfect, but in bits and pieces I will come and help him. But after that, after he was axed from the Indian team very unceremoniously, I would say, then I became his personal coach. But first,
Chinmoyda,
Greg
you
Chappell,
debuted.
I tell you at the outset, the way the journey began, day one of the
Yeah.
camp, Greg being the headmaster, he started like that. In the meeting, he said that, guys, bus leaves at 9 p.m. in the a.m. in the morning. So 5 minutes before, you'll be there in front of the bus. And they were staying in Grand Ashoka in Bangalore. The camp was having beautiful weather those days.
Yes. No, no, please
The
continue.
thing is that whenever Greg
Yeah.
Chappell comes into play, glitch comes in. It's like that. This man.
This is the dialogue of the video. Please go ahead.
Right, right.
Okay.
Trisha, since the glitch happened, I must say it was 2007 and 2021. I feel by triggering the issue again and again, Greg Chappell wants to be in the news because he knows very well the popularity of Sourav Ganguly. A, B is that India is a cricket crazy country. So being
Yes.
relevant, Greg Chappell time and again triggers this. What is
True.
gone in 2007? Now coming back to that story,
Yeah.
this Grand Ashoka. So the Indian cricketers were listening. That time Sourav Morazda was there in Glamorgan. He was playing county cricket. He was still the captain because he has brought in Greg Chappell. So the players were all chit-chatting. Zahir Khan, Agarkar and all said that, okay, chalo, ye to bolte rehta hai. So the next day, a whole team came in the bus. There are three guys missing: Ashish Nehra, Ajit Agarkar, and Zahir Khan. Okay.
Right.
And after 15-20 minutes, when the training started, these three guys came in and abusing in Hindi. Anything, the North Indians and the Western guys, this is the word in their mouth. Dikhata hai koi. So day one, they are in loggerheads. Right, day one, he enforced discipline has to be there. They came in a taxi. So I could sense that something was brewing in the camp. That is the first day I found. Now, the thing is that the takeaway is that I saw in the camp, trust me, they were into a comfort zone, the cricketers. The only great thing Greg Chappell did was to jolt the cricketers from the comfort zone. Else, he was horrible in man management. Entire camp, and later on, the second camp I went, I found that there are so many things. I'll slowly. That was the day one. Okay, shall I get into the next
Mm.
story? The
Yes,
next
please.
story, how he enforced himself. We had a fitness test. Fitness
Right.
test is the must at the start of the camp, and the camp ends. There is one more fitness test to see how much you have improved. So Ashish Nehra, he had a frequent history of injury, and Yuvraj
Right.
Singh and all. So test started. Rahul Dravid, as usual, very dedicated. Anil Kumble, all these guys are dedicated. Okay, young Srishant was coming up. There are Dinesh Karthik, Virendra Sehwag. Virendra Sehwag again a little bit lackadaisical. Okay, that's his nature, exception.
Right.
Now, Ashish Nehra came and said that I have got ankle issue, and John Gloucester was our physiotherapist. So Gloucester, see these physios, even the trainers, they are a bit really. I'd say that terrified. I would suggest this word terrified at all with the stars because they knew that their job was in line. If they enforce, that's the way thing works. These foreigners that comes into play, they want to survive here. So as the Ashish Nair said, no, my ankle has got this. I will not take the fitness test. He went to Greg Chappell and said that Greg, he's not comfortable with the ankle, so he'll not take the test. So Greg Chappell agreed. Now I tell you, at the end, on the 14th day, there was one more fitness test. And again, Ashish Nehra, because they were into their own territory, they will, whatever they will say, they'll get away with that. Again, he said that, no, my ankle is, because we're in the doing a National Cricket Academy is indoor. Good surface, and there was a thing called beep test. Now, beep test is similar to yo-yo test. Similar. Yo-yo is much more intense, which they're doing now.
Hmm.
We did the yo-yo, by the way, in 2008 itself. Now it's become a buzzword now. So the beep
Yeah.
was much easier comparing to that. Even that one, Greg Chappell said, these guys are taking it easy, throw that CD out. Greg King was our head trainer, bring a new CD. So he brought a new CD, which is one step little intense than the previous one. Ashish Nehra came again, no, I'm not comfortable. I was standing next to Greg. He was really fuming. Then he told Greg King, our trainer, go and tell him what's his problem. Then he went and he said that, no, I can't wear the shoe. I wear the shoe and run. It hurts me. Tell Ash to take the shoe off. Let him run bare feet. This is the word. Now, Greg King won't go. He's telling me, Chinmo, can you go and tell Ash? So Ashish is a very nice boy, friendly and talks. I says, Ashish, he wants to take you the test. Then the gali came immediately. They are really swearing, abusing Hindi. And he ran bare feet. After about 4-5 minutes of running, he left. Okay. And so that's the sort of environment that was going on. Very strong, strict.
So, Chinmada, can you tell me something? So, from what you saw, basically, did you think, like he has said that the players really weren't performing for the team? Is it a case of the players not performing for a team, or is it a case of him being not able to speak the same language, or at least, how do I put it? Probably he wasn't able to express himself. He was very authoritarian in his approach. Was that the
Absolutely.
case?
Absolutely. My way or the highway. That was man management skill was absolutely pathetic. As you were saying, that was fitness. I'm coming to the skill. Because once our fitness session
Hmm.
was over, his knowledge was amazing. I went to him and said that just few chit chat. And sir, I have been an avid follower of your batting. I'm a really cricket fanatic. I go through the stats, keep in mind. So I remember his double hundred against India in 2088 on Gavaskar, that epic series when Gavaskar walked out. I said that, sir, I was watching
Right.
Dilip Doshi play. He said, Chin, you seem to know more than what I know about my batting. I have forgotten. Okay, so I presented him with the key. He is absolutely candid. Good thing is that he will be, I mean, outspoken. He will be forthright. But forthright doesn't work in Indian cricket. You have to be soft like that. Now, he went and said that this guy has given to me. Now, when this skill session came in, I was watching. Sehwag was batting. Sehwag, he doesn't really bother about technique. He will hit this. Now, in between, he was trying to give some technical stuff, right? Now, what I'm sure Rahul Dravid, a very keen listener, listening to him and all these things. Now, he was trying to say something to Sehwag, and Madan Lal was the coach then with the under 22, Ashok Malhotra. So I grew up with Ashok Malhotra, and I'll sit with them. They're the coaches, and Sehwag came in. Madan Lal and Sehwag is from same Delhi. Okay, and Sehwag is a very simple guy. He'll say anything in front of anyone. So he came and he says, Madan Lal, Paji, ये बूढ़े हमको ये बूढ़े हमको ये बूढ़े हमको बोल रहा है ये करो क्या बोल रहा है कब खेला है वो अरबी का खेल कोई so we are in split. So see, this is how the thing skill happened, right? You cannot teach everyone the same thing. I take the case study of Yuvraj Singh. Right, that time it was Sourav Ganguly's team. All these players, they really rallied around him. Now, Yuvraj Singh, see, these guys never treated training as seriously. That is the only thing he did. They jolted him. Chalo, now you need to work hard. Rest, I think, zero. So, Yuvraj Singh's story, I tell you, again in the fitness test, he was pushing Yuvraj Singh. And Yuvraj Singh was in the computer. So he said that, Chin, go and tell Yubi to come and join. So I went to Yuvraj and said that now you have to join. Yuvraj really sweared at me. I was very sad. Why swear at me? I have nothing to do. Anyway, so one can see, and one more thing, skill-wise, I tell you, Chappell was showing something on fielding, right? It came in the Times of India newspaper the next day. Okay. Now the thing is that you are showing, Trisha will understand you played the game and all. This is the stump, right? So he was saying, if you throw like this, so this is the stump, and if you throw like this, half the stump is gone. And when you throw from, I tell my hand, where is my hand? So if I throw from there to there, you get the entire stamp. You throw like this, half the stamp is not there. So he's curious, right? And when he was saying, all the stars were standing in front of him. Sachin was not in the camp because he had got this elbow injury. In the next camp, he was there. So there was Yuvraj Singh, there was Ashish Nehra, there was Virendra Sehwag, there was Zahir Khan, everyone. Gautam Gambhir was growing up, he was very nice, and all the youngsters. The picture came in Times of India next day, Chappell showing this. Yuvraj Singh was looking at the trees, Sehwag was tying shoelace, Yuvraj Singh was wiping the lens, all the stars different way, and the picture came. Guru Greg showing his disciples looking elsewhere. The picture came. It came to us with all the trainers, and you say, I have seen a lot of the things, this Indian culture, and I have to change it. I know a lot of resistance will come, but I have to. So I could get the sense that something is going to come up. And as I came there from the camp, Maharaj asked me, how was the camp? I said, very nice. He asked me, how was Greg? I said that because see, I can't. His stature is there, the captain of the Indian team. I said
Yeah,
that little
true,
tough man.
true.
So now that Chinmay, you said that you talked about the culture and you talked about Greg Chappell being a very tough man. Is it
Right.
because how Australian cricket perform like the modus operandi of Australian cricket and their culture?
Absolutely.
Is it
Right.
because of that Greg Chappell tried to enforce that same thing in Indian cricket, having coming from that Australian cricket culture?
I feel like that. His brother Ian Chappell also a very cutthroat person. You're absolutely right. See, Maharashtra told me later on. See, Rahul Dravid is a gentleman. I've seen in the camp really. I've seen Anil Kumble has possibility. It's not like Rahul Dravid. So he could choose that this is the man Rahul Dravid. If I invest on him, he will not speak against me. Okay, the guys like Sachin Tendulkar, because the next camps I used to go and found that all these guys were against him. Harbhajan Singh, Virendra Sehwag, because Greg tried to, I mean, ruin everyone's career. So Rahul Dravid being too soft, because you can see you speak to him very nicely. So I think
Hmm.
that was the thing. That's why Moraz also told us, and he given a praise statement also. He, Rahul Dravid mein dum nahi hai. He said that. So Greg Chappell's way, as you said very correctly, very Australian-like, which doesn't work really. I tell you, that's why as a coach, yeah, please tell me.
Different countries, different cultures, and that's why
Absolutely.
you will be a good coach, right? Where you
Right,
can
right,
adapt to that country and yet get the best out of the player. Chinmada, I have
right,
got a question for you from one of our viewers, and
right,
Shubhobrata is a very he comes and views our videos every single day. So thank you,
right.
Shubhobrata. So Shubhobrata wants to know, was Greg Chappell of vindictive nature? Like, if you didn't agree with him, was he that sort of a person who would get into that negative framework, mindset, for you, like against you, sorry?
Uh, can you repeat one more time? Can you repeat one more time the question?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it is. Was Greg Chappell of vindictive nature? Like, did he,
Oh,
you know
oh, got
vindictive
your
nature?
point.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, I think so. Really, I think so. I think so. Vindictive, because this man out and an authoritarian, right? So he wanted to dictate. What I couldn't find is that he wanted to dictate. Okay, and that is, I mean, see, as you said very correctly, you have to be see, these players is going to play inside. They are the stars. You can't really hog the limelight. Being a coach, you should be a backseat. I saw Gary Kirsten so low profile,
Absolutely.
but Greg Chappell wanted to be the central figure, whereas there so many stars were there. So he could see the conflict. The moment he will, I mean, give a long rope, he knows that he'll go backseat. So seeing the Indian, the religion, its game is like a religion, so much of crowd attention. He wanted to be, because see, the fact is he came from Australia, 1980s. They didn't get that fan following. So as you said very correctly,
Correct.
that whoever came in his way, I just tell you one more story. In the camp, two camps I saw
Yeah.
flooded by so many experts. Ian Fraser. Ian Fraser came as an assistant. There was a guy who used to work on kinesiology, the muscle movement, but that gentleman himself was physically handicapped. He couldn't even walk. He came. Then Dennis Lilly came. I was there. The Dennis Lilly came. That was a good thing. He brought in Dennis Lilly. But 2005, I'm talking about, Indian cricketers didn't like so many guys coming in because they were used to one coach. That was not a bowling, fielding, and all these terms there. So many people coming in, and you see the fact, I tell you one more thing, because I'm not really competent to comment on that. You can't really come and tell Sachin Tendulkar through different persons that, chalo, you change this, you change this. No one will accept that. So many people came in with so many advice. Even we were confused. One day scientist, one day biomechanic comes in, and biomechanic coming in, I saw, I just tell you one story. That time one guy was Sudeep Tyagi. Sudeep Tyagi is from Uttar Pradesh, youngster like Srishant
Yes.
and coming up. So Mark Potter's one Australian who came in and he was telling about biomechanics. So there was Vishwanath, Sourav Krishnan with them, Bharat Arun, my good friend, he was there. We are all sitting in the lecture, and he was saying if the fast bowlers bowls bends like this and beyond 35 degrees, there is a chance of injury. Potters was saying. Now Sudeep Tyagi and me was sitting side by side. Sudeep Tyagi didn't know who was गुंडाप्पा विश्वनाथ. He asked me, sir, वो कौन है? बोला चलो भाई, आप तो बॉल डालते हो सिर्फ और कुछ नहीं जानते. गुंडाप्पा विश्वनाथ कौन है? कुछ नहीं जानते क्रिकेट के हिस्ट्री पर. But he was good. Sudeep Tyagi, very promising. So when the thing over lecture, Sudeep Tyagi came in and told Bharat Arun, the bowling coach, sir, ये क्या बोल रहा था 35 डिग्री? हम 42 डिग्री में क्रिकेट खेलते हैं. 42 degree. What are you saying, man?
He thought it's the temperature. He didn't think it's the degree. Oh, this is absolutely, I mean, oh, this is fantastic. Chinmaya, I can't, Chinmaya and I shared this rapport that, yeah, we keep talking to each other, and in the future, I think we want to see more of Chinmaya because he's fantastic. Let me tell you, there was a point of time, Orgho, I think Orgho knows this already. I couldn't move my right arm because it was so painful, the shoulder and all. He is the reason that now I can dance. That I danced yesterday here in the because Chinmaya, it was our 100th video yesterday in YouTube.
Great.
That's why we were.
So,
By the way,
again,
Trisha, I just one point because I've seen Trisha is doing fantastic with her mental conditioning stuff, and she has got a lot of promising cricketers. Not only cricketers, other spectrum of the sports also. Badminton, table tennis, and tennis also. So I suggest, request you through this platform that all the youngsters who are coming up, maybe you are the upcoming stars, please come and take a session with her.
Trisha is like
Yes,
one thing I want to say. Like I compared Chinmoyda with Gary Cuspin. He is the Gary Cuspin for Trisha. Trisha is like Ravindra Jadeja. What Ravindra Jadeja is to Indian team. Because Trisha used to play cricket at one point of time. She became an umpire. She became a coach. She is now a mental conditioning coach. And now she is there in every platform. So she is Ravindra Jadeja, one whom you can't live without.
One man army. One man army.
One woman army, maybe. One more thing. Now, because you said before we take the question and before we let Chinmoyda go, one thing which Chinmoyda said about Greg Chappell going to Sachin through other people and telling him to do this, telling him to do that. Do you think it was a disastrous decision to not play Sachin Tendulkar as an opener with Sourav Ganguly when he made a comeback into the Indian team in the late stages of 2006? And then when both were in the World Cup team, you were opening with somebody like Ravin Uthappa with Sourav Ganguly. Even there was Sehwag in the team. Why not open with Sehwag and Sourav, or Sehwag and Sachin for that matter?
Orgo, first thing, see, whenever I speak, I say that I am a fitness coach. So I tell you with humble submission, I am not very qualified or competent to say this. This is the first thing. Now, I agree what you say that, see, what I have seen from very close quarters in Morasda, I will interact. In 2006, when he made the comeback and 7, I said, Morasda, in Bengal, I'm telling you, Tomar ki mone hai? Morasda said, oh, survive korbe na. Yeah, that's his word, because Morasda speaks less. Okay, we'll be chit-chatting, and he said, hey, survive korbe na. Okay. Sir, I said that to me, okay, he said that I'm a fool. And this is absolute, this is a word recorded. I'm a fool. This is the word he said. He said that I'm a fool. Okay, that's his humble submission. I'm a fool. Right? He has got too many ideas. Assistant coach, this coach, that coach. That time, Kiran More was the selector. Was the one more culprit behind who colluded with Greg Chappell. Fuchada was the selector from Bengal, right? And Fuchada, I'm also very close to Fuchada. I used to hear from all these things, the politics and all. Okay. Now,
you have to name
Kiran
Fuchada. Many people might not know Fuchada as Fuchada.
Pranab Roy, right? Pranab Roy was the selector. Fuchada, Pranab Roy, right? So Moraz used to tell me, I'm son, how come a selector get into the practice? Kiran More being a selector was giving wicket-keeping practice. So he was telling me how many men, you see, too many cooks will spoil the broth. Very simple. So as you said rightly, Ganguly is a performer. Let him open. You're very right. So I'm not competent, but whenever as you said at the start, the Greg Chappell saga comes into play, I think this is my way of looking at Indian press shouldn't print this. See, once you print it, like I get into a little bit of political platform, what happening regarding this thing in the Delhi, Modi, this campaign, the poster. As long as it was in the street, nobody bothered. The moment people are arrested, the moment Rahul Gandhi puts it in tweet, now it's going global. So all these things, Greg Chappell knows that this is masala. You put it and I'm back again. What happened in 2007, that's gone in history. Nobody bothers in Australia. Nobody bothers in Australia. Right? Now he says it. Now we are having a show here. I think too trivial this guy, gentleman, is. Me and Trisha should have been discussing something else other than one negative aspect. Pardon me, really. You brought it because people want to listen more and more about Greg Chappell's stuff. I've got loads of this. I finish up with one stuff. I had Greg Chappell's number. He knew about my knowledge for history and all these things. We had constant WhatsApps. Okay. Now, coming from Zimbabwe, that disastrous one, when the email got leaked, I know who, Buriada knows who leaked it. I know. Okay. So, who leaked it? And Morada was furious. Morada was furious. Right. Now, came from Zimbabwe. I messaged him, well done, sir, is that? I met him in National Academy, and Greg Chappell said, Chin, I think I have to delete the number. I said, why? He said that now the lot of the press thinks I am very press savvy. They're asking me questions, and he's told me I've been cutthroat. I'm just suddenly slipping and telling them. That is the reason why he wrote that email. He didn't sign out. You know the mistake he did. I still remember it was in Zimbabwe, Harare. He mailed it. Okay, mailed it to first. I tell you, Mahendra was because Dalmia has just left. Mahendra was the Ranbir Singh Mahendra. It was a transition phase. Mr. Dalmia has left. He was the patron and chief of the BCCI. Ranbir Singh Mahendra, he sent it, and one more guy, Jayant Lele. Jayant Lele was the one more loose mouth, right? And he wrote that email, and he didn't sign out from his account. So mail remained open. The first person to read the mail was Harbhajan Singh.
And the rest is history. And the rest is history.
Rest is, and he went and told, Daddy, this is the mail he has written.
This is like when you open by mistake, you open your Facebook account and some of your friends come and do ugly stuff to that.
Yeah.
Now,
and your mom is standing right behind.
and the last thing I sign off is that Morada's version was, fine, someone read it, we knew it, why should it come in public domain? That was, see, some of our journalist friend, some mileage that I am the first to have the breaking news, did it very badly. That was where Morada was hurt. True. He said that we all knew this has been written because it has been discussed in private. The moment it comes out in papers, that's a problem. So the takeaway is that this is we all journalists, the Indian and all, I share it. Please don't do something for your own benefit. See, at the end of the day, they're the cricketers. You write about them. Okay, you cover them. But selling something for your own benefit, that's going to hurt somebody. I don't think it, because that's why Sourav Ganguly used to tell me, see, I've been hard done. Had this saga not come out in public domain, I've not suffered so much. Because Greg Chappell being a foreigner, he left. But he stayed back. So many months have been taken away.
True.
The Souravs.
True. True. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Chinmayda has given us such, all the incidents were laugh riots, Chinmayda. And I cannot thank you enough for coming to the show. Thank you so much. I will, obviously, I will talk to you in a bit. I will just complete a little bit of, our Orgo and my word. Thank you so much.
Orgo, all the best. It's a pleasure coming, really sharing, because I know you guys also know as much as I know, right? Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
No, not at all. Thank you.
Till then, take care, stay safe, stay home. Bye-bye.